Welcome back. This is the second lecture in our Wu Yun Liu Qi series. In the introduction, we looked at the big picture, what Wu Yun Liu Qi is, and where it comes from. Today we get practical. Every single calculation in this system, the 5 periods and the 6 Qi, the special years like Tianfu and Sui Hui, all of it begins with one simple question. What are the heavenly stems and earthly branches of the year? The pairing is called the Jiazi. So if you master this one lecture, you will be able to take any year, this year, next year, the year you are born, and work out its energetic framework by hand. We'll cover 10 stems, the 12 branches, and how they combine into the 60-year cycle, and how to extract the Daoyun, Si Tian, and Zhai Quan from them. Let's begin. Here's your roadmap for today in 8 steps. First, the 2 building blocks, the 10 heavenly stems and the 12 earthly branches with their yin and yang 5-element correspondences. Then you will see how those 2 wheels interlock to form the 60-year Jiazi cycle. From there, we get to the heart of it, using the stems to find the Daoyun, the central energy of the whole year, and using yin or yang to decide whether the energy is in excess or deficiency. Next, we use the branches to find the Si Tian, which governs the first half of the year, and the Zhai Quan, which governs the second half. Finally, I'll show you how to calculate any year purely by hand, and we'll walk through 2026 together as a complete worked example. Keep your eye on how each piece connects to the next. That's the real lesson today. Let's start with the first building block, the 10 heavenly stems. These are the source from which the 5 periods, the Daoyun, are derived. Keep 2 ideas in mind as we go. The stems alternate yin and yang, and they pair up 2 by 2 across the 5 elements. There are 10 heavenly stems, Jia, Yi, Bing, Ding, Wu, Ji, Geng, Xin, Ren, and Gui. 2 rules make them easy. First begins with the Jia. They alternate yang, in all the way down. So Jia, Bing, Wu, Geng, and Ren are the yang stems, and Yi, Ding, Qi, Xin, and Gui are the yin stems. Second, the 5 elements are assigned in pairs. Jia and Yi are wood, Bing and Ding are fire, Wu and Ji are earth, Geng, Xin are metal, Ren, Gui are water. So the pattern reads wood, wood, fire, fire, earth, earth, metal, metal, water, water. This yin-yang split is not just bookkeeping. In a few minutes, we'll decide whether year's energy is in excess or in deficiency. For now, just hold on to 3 facts: 5 yang stems, 5 yin stems, and the elements comes in pair. Now the second building block, the 12 earthly branches. If the stems are the heavenly half, the branches are the earthly half, and they are the source of the 6 Qi. Think of them as the 12 segments of a single year. The 12 earthly branches are Zhi, Chou, Yin, Mao, Chen, Si, Wu, Wei, Shen, You, Xu, and Hai. Picture the year cut into 12 segments. Like the stems, the branches alternate yin and yang, and each carries a 5-element value. But the branches follow the season. Yin and Mao are spring, so wood. Si and Wu are summer, so fire. Shen, You, autumn, so metal, Hai, Zhi, winter, so water. And the 4 branches at the turn of each season. Chen, Shu, Chou, Wei take the role of us. The one thing I really want you to carry forward is this. In a few minutes, we'll use these branches to find the Si Tian, which rules the first half of the year, and the Zhai Quan, which rules the second half. So for now, 12 branches, alternating yin and yang, elements following the season. Now let's lock the 2 wheels together and see how the 60-year cycle is built. This is one of those ideas that feels abstract until you see the simple arithmetic behind it. Now we interlock the stems and the branches. We pair them off one at a time. Jia with Zhi, Yi with Chou, Bing with the Yin, and so on. There is one rule that governs this. A yang stem only ever pairs with a yang branch, and a yin stem only ever pairs with a yin branch. So Jia, Zhi is valid, but the Jia, Chou never occur. Now the stems return to the start every 10 steps, and the branches every 12. The first moment both wheels line up again at the beginning is the lowest common multiple of 10 and 12, which is 60. That's why there are exactly 60 Jiazi pairs before the cycle repeats, and why the same year name comes back every 60 years. This is also the origin of the Korean and the Chinese tradition of celebrating the 61st birthday. You've completed 1 full turn of the Jiazi and return to the stem branch pair of your birth year. In Wu Yun Liu Qi, each of these 60 pairs carries its own distinctive climate and disease tendencies. Here is the part that turned theory into real calculations. How the stems of a year gives us the Dayun, the central energy that runs through the entire year. This is the core of today's lecture. When we analyze any year, the very first thing we fix is the Dayun, the central energy that runs through the whole 12 months. We find this through what's called the stem combination. The 10 stems are combined into 5 pairs, and each pair transforms into one element, which becomes that year's Dayun. There is a memory phrase worth saying out loud. Jia, Zhi makes earth, Yi, Gang makes metal, Bing, Xin makes water, Ding, Ren makes wood, Wu, Gui makes fire. So for example, if a year's stem is Bing, Bing combines with Xin to become water, and that year's Dayun is water. Just 5 lines. Once those are on the tip of your tongue, the Dayun element of any year comes instantly. Let's say together once. Jia, Zhi, earth, Yi, Gang, metal, Bing, Xin, water, Ding, Ren, wood, Wu, Gui, fire. We have the Dayun element. The next question is its strength. Does it overflow or does it fall short? That's the distinction between excess and deficiency. And the rule is beautifully simple. Once you've found the Dayun element, the next question is whether that energy overflows or falls short. That's the difference between Taiguo, excess, and Buji, deficiency. The rule could not be simpler. If the year's stem is a yang stem, the Dayun is in excess. If it's in yin stem, the Dayun is in deficiency. Remember, the yang stems are Jia, Bing, Wu, Gang, and Ren. Those 5 years have overflowing Dayun. The yin stems Yi, Ding, Ji, Xin, and Gui have a deficient Da-un. For example, a Bing ear has a water Da-un, and because Bing is yang, it's water excess, a ear when the water element runs strong. Clinically, this matters because excess and the deficiency push the related organs in opposite directions. When an element overflows, it overcontrols. And when it falls short, it gets overwhelmed by the element that controls it. We'll explore those clinical patterns in the next lecture. For today, hold onto the one line. Yang means excess. Yin means deficiency. Where the Da-un is the frame for the whole year. The Si Tian and Zhai Quan split the year into two halves, and the both comes straight from the branch. If the Da-un is the big frame for the whole year, the Si Tian and Zhai Quan divide the year into two halves. Si Tian means controlling heaven. It rules the first half of the year. Zhai Quan means at the spring. It rules the second half. Both are read directly from the branch, and the branches work in matched pairs. Ji, Wu gives a Shaoyin imperial fire as the Si Tian, and the Yangming dryness metal as the Zhai Quan. Chou and Wei gives a Taiying damp earth over Taiyang cold water. Yin and Shen gives a Shaoyang minister fire over Jueying wind wood. Mao and You give Yangming dryness metal over Shaoyin imperial fire. Chen and Shu give Taiyang cold water over Taiying damp earth, and Si and Hai give Jueying wind wood over Shaoyang minister fire. If memorizing all 6 feels like a lot, just hold on to the structure for now. Pick the branch and match the Si Tian and Zhai Quan come as a pair. And the Zhai Quan always sit directly opposite the Si Tian. Keep this table beside you as a reference. So how do you actually get the stem and branch for your handled? It comes down to 2 short divisions. Let me show you, and then you will do this here as an example. When you are handed a ear, finding its stem and branch is just 2 divisions. For the heavenly stem, take the ear and look at its remainder when divided by 10. In practice, the last digit, a remainder of 4 is Jia, 5 is Yi, 6 is Bing, 7 is Ding, 8 is Wu, 9 is Ji, 0 is Geng, 1 is Xin, 2 is Ren, 3 is Gui. For the earthly branch, take the year's remainder when divided by 12. 4 is Ji, 5 is Chou, 6 is Yin, and so on. Where 10 is Wu, 11 is Wei, 0 is Shen, 1 is You, 2 is Xu, 3 is Hai. Let's try 2026 together. 2026 divided by 10 leaves a remainder of 6, and 6 is Bing. 2026 divided by 12, that's 168 with a remainder of 10. And 10 is Wu, so 2026 is Bing Wu. Use the table at first. After a few tries, it becomes automatic, and eventually you will hear ear and know it's Jiazi on the spot. Let's bring all 4 steps together on a single year. 2026, so you can see the whole workflow run end to end. Now let's run the full workflow in 2026. Step 1, the stem and branch. 2026 mod 10 is 6, which is Bing. 2026 Model 12 is 10, which is Wu, so it's Bing Wu. Step 2. The Da Yun. Bing combines with the Xin to make water, and because Bing is a yang stem, this is water in excess. So 2026 is a water excess year. Step 3. The Si Tian from the branch Wu is a Xiaoyin imperial fire that governs the first half of the year. Step 4. The Zai Chuan, also from Wu, is a Yangming dryness metal, governing the second half. So in the 4 short steps, the framework of 2026 is fully on the page. Overall, a water excess year with the imperial fire ruling the first half year and dryness metal the second. Try this yourself with the current year or with your own birth year. Once the calculation is in your hands, the whole study of Wu Yun Liu Qi comes far more concrete. Let's pull it all together. 5 takeaways from today. 1. 10 stems and 12 branches interlock to form the 60-year Jiazi cycle, repeating every 60 years. 2. The stem gives us the Da Yun, and whether that stem is yin or yang tells us if the Da Yun is in excess or deficiency. 3. The branch gives us the Si Tian for the first half of the year and the Zai Chuan for the second. 4. 2 simple divisions, the year by 10 and by 12, hand you the stem and branch of any year at all. And 5. Our worked example, 2026 is Bing Wu, a water excess year, with the imperial fire ruling the first half and the dryness metal the second. In the next lecture, we'll go deeper into the 5 periods themselves, the Da Yun, the host and the guest period, and how excess and the deficiency translate into real clinical decisions. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next time.